Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids, and we're at SHOT Show 2017. We spent a day out at the range, and now we're out on the floor looking at all kinds of gear. We're looking at bushcraft knives, survival knives, folding knives, flashlights, packs, and so much more. I want to give a big shout out to ThruNite, who helped make this trip possible. Now let's head out onto the floor and see what they have for us. We are at the UCO Industrial Revolution and Mora booth with Dave Canterbury, and I wanted to ask him 3 questions and get his take on things. So I was sharing with him yesterday, I made this video, the top 10 lies about survival, and so I said to the survival expert, this bushcraft expert, what are the things that, teaching all your classes, you hear from people that you're like, that's the biggest lie that people need to be aware of before they head out into the woods or start thinking they're going to bushcraft experts or wilderness survival experts?
I think the biggest thing is people don't understand that training and dirt time are one of the most important things to be able to survive. And they think that by watching YouTube videos and reading books and things like that, that they're going to be okay. And it's really not the case. I have lots of guys come to my school, from search and rescue people, to firefighters, to EMTs, to law enforcement, to military guys. And they say, oh, I've been doing this for a long time, it's not going to be a problem. And by day 2, they're like, man, I wish I would have known all this stuff 10 years ago.
Yep.
So I think that's a big thing, is the training aspect of it.
And you said yesterday, you talked about skill mastery too.
Right.
Not just like getting out there and doing it, but you got to know what you're doing.
You have to own it. You have to create muscle memory. You have to own the skill and understand all the subtle nuances within the skill. I mean, anybody can start a bow drill fire 1 time, 2 times. And anybody can do it with kiln-dried material from a lumberyard.
Right.
It's a whole different ballgame to walk out in inclement weather in the native woods, in the eastern woodlands, or anywhere else, and say, hey, all right, now you got to do it, do or die.
Right.
There's a big difference there. And if you don't understand, if you haven't made 100 bow drill fires, you're not going to own that skill.
Right. That's fair. Okay, second question is, somebody says, hey, I want to get to the outdoors, but I've never done this before. I'm scared to get off my couch. What's the first thing you would tell them to do?
Go out the back door. That's the first thing I would tell people. If you're new to the outdoors and you're trying to test your limits, you're trying to test gear, trying to try out a new technique, no matter what it is, the oak trees are no different in your backyard than the oak trees are 4 miles away, and the weather's no different either. So practice in your own backyard at first to get comfortable with the gear that you have, get comfortable with your basic level of skills, and then increase the distance you are away from home as you become more prepared and as you own those skills more and more. But always, as you venture away, leave a good game plan.
That's number 2. Here's number 3. I asked Dave, what do you want your legacy to be when it comes to the outdoors, bushcraft, wilderness survival, woodcraft? As I learned,
woodcraft
is the old way to say it?
The old school term is woodcraft.
Okay, so what's your legacy? What's the thing you want to leave behind?
I think my legacy I'd like to leave behind to the world would be the written word. I think that is a legacy that will last throughout time. If you look at history, most people read history from books, and I don't think that's ever going to change. The books that we read now are the books that were written in the 20s, 30s, and 40s by people like Nesmith, Forrest Kephart, Hyatt Verrill, and all those different writers. And then we still read things that were written by Morris Kahansky, by Stephen Watts, and David Westcott. And I think that going forward, I would like to see people reading my books 100 years from now.
And we talked about that yesterday, that if you're ever around him teaching, and I imagine this is the way with your classes too, you're always tying history in.
Yeah, I think historical aspects of woodcraft and bushcraft are very, very important, because we can learn from looking at history what we need to do. There's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
So what they did back then will probably work just as good now.
Sure.
We just have to adapt modern materials as a means to an end.
Yeah, it also keeps us humble too. We don't think we invented it.
You're exactly right. There's nothing new in bushcraft or survival, and just like the 5 C's, there's nothing new. Those 5 C's have been carried throughout time, all the way back to the time of Oates of the Iceman. I just put an acronym to them so they were easier to remember.
Right. All right, there you have it. 3 questions, 3 answers from Dave Canterbury. Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, SHOT Show day 2, and I want to talk to you about this, which is the ThruNite Archer 2A V3. This is my EDC for the day. So your settings, 0.2, 17, 75, and 500. You got the end pressure switch, and then your selector switch right there. This definitely is a slightly larger light than the other ones I've used, but I do like this one a lot. I like it because it does have that end switch to really quickly turn it on, and then when you want to adjust it to something lower, you can do that as well. There also is a strobe feature on this light as well. So cool light, takes 2 AA batteries, and for around $30, I think you're getting a lot of punch. So to have a light like this that runs off only 2 AA's and to have 500 lumens output is quite impressive. You can see it does have a pocket clip, and about that much of the pocket clip is going to be sticking out of your pocket. I wear this with a pair of jeans and it fits in it just fine. As you can see, the diameter of this is also a bit bigger than the TI4 or the TI5. So if you want something a bit bigger than those lights, I encourage you to check out the ThruNite Archer 2A V3. I put links down below if you want to purchase this light over on Amazon. Thanks as always for checking out the videos, and more coming soon. Take care.